Okay, hello. So I'm just going to do a brief introduction to kind of introduce this prototype and show you how we tested it with the different users. So this was actually the first screen that a user would have seen. So the user would land on the screen and we'd ask them to give a little narrative about it, just ask them what they thought about it, what it looked like to them. And after they had given us, some feedback, we would go in and then ask them to complete some tasks. So the first task we asked users to complete was to actually subscribe to the Dublin Bike service. So we would just ask them to subscribe, which I'll just do now to show you. So when they subscribe, they would get this little notification to access kind of hardware on the phone to kind of allow the Dublin Bikes app to function. So then in order to unlock the bikes, you'd actually have to give over your card details. We used a little bit of nudge theory here and persuasive design to kind of encourage people to take out the most expensive subscription to kind of help the Dublin Bike business model. So using patterns here that you'd see in like subscription services generally. So once you're actually finished your subscription, you're prompted to do a Start Cycling 101. This was kind of a safety feature we included, kind of just thinking about cyclist safety, and it's not something that Dublin Bikes has at the moment. So I'll just give you a brief kind of idea of how to cycle carefully in the city. So once the user had completed that, we then would ask them to do another task. The next task was to actually plan a journey. So we asked them to plan a journey up to North Smithfield. So it's this stop here. You can see there's 12 bikes available. And then when they click on that, they can actually reserve a bike. This means that you can only reserve a bike for 10 minutes just so you wouldn't get kind of people hogging the bikes. So when you do that, you kind of get this countdown. And when you get to the bike, then you have to scan it. And then you have 30 minutes of free cycling before you start getting charged by Dublin Bike Service. It kind of tracks your ride to your next destination. And then it will kind of give you a notification if you've docked safely. Finally, the final task we asked participants to complete was to actually unlock a bike for a friend. From user testing, we could see that, not user testing, actually face-to-face interviews at stations, people wanted to kind of be able to share their subscription. So we had this in the profile icon, unlock for a friend, and you could take out, unlock a bike for a friend for a journey. And then you'd have 2 bikes you could take out. So that was the 3 tasks we asked users to complete. And now I'll show you how some users got on. What's your occupation?
I'm a designer.
Perfect. And how much experience do you have using the web?
A lot.
Yeah. How many times would you use would you be on your phone or internet?
Be on my phone a lot of the day.
What kinds of applications would you use the most?
Social media, really.
Yeah,
social media, I'd say.
Do you cycle?
Yes.
And have you used Dublin Bikes before? And if so, what's your overall impression of the service?
I haven't used Dublin Bikes.
No.
I've used different city bikes though.
Yeah, okay. First of all, okay, great. We're done with the questions and we can start doing some things. So you can see, first I'm going to ask you to look at this app and tell me what you make of it, what strikes you about it, what you could think you could do with this app and what it's for. Just look around at this screen and do a little narrative, but just don't tap anything yet.
Okay, I suppose my first kind of question, I'm kind of looking at the little smiley face up at the top.
Yeah.
A bit, I wonder what that is. It kind of looks like a helpful hints thing.
Yeah.
Like maybe if I couldn't figure out what it was doing, it might be, I might click on it and it might say, oh, have you tried like clicking here? Or have you tried doing that?
Yeah.
The second thing would be like my location isn't exact. You just know because of the kind of pink. You have a pink kind of tracker thing, but then you've got a pink radial thing,
Yeah.
and it doesn't look like you know where I am.
Yeah.
It looks like I'm maybe within 500 meters of the middle of that.
Yeah.
I don't really know if you know where I am. I don't know what the lock thing is. I actually haven't a clue what that would do. Like maybe it would, I'd put in, if I was going into town, like I'd put in Camden Street and then I'd press the lock so that like it wouldn't move. I don't know. The little target thing on the right, then that icon, that would just bring me closer to the map, kind of like Google Maps does. Yeah, the destination doesn't really look like I'll have enough space to enter all of the address if I was going somewhere. So that's a bit weird for me, the fact that you've kind of been serious about, you know, this one's allowed Dublin Bikes access to your location and camera. It's quite serious, and then the previous thing was get right in. Closest station. So it's just automatically showing me the closest station.
Yeah.
I know sometimes with Dublin Bikes there's not bikes there.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hoping, I'm making an assumption that you've given me the closest station that has bikes. Oh god. Bike number 24 is locked for you at the station. It's almost like it's gamified it and I just have to start running. Okay, so like I was a bit panicked with the last one when it gave me a countdown, but this is helpful for me because I don't want to have to pay more. I feel like I'll pay more if I don't get there within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And it kind of, when I've used other bike city bikes, like I used one in Philadelphia, and like I know we had to like check our phones at what exact time it was that we started cycling, and then like, you know, keep checking your phone as to when it is. So this is actually helpful that it tells you like, oh, okay, 30 minutes. I tell her to download this app. I wouldn't have known it was an option for me to unlock a bike for her. I'd probably maybe click on the little smiley face to see if there was anything behind there.
Yeah.
To tell me that.
Yeah.
I would never have assumed it. So I would hope that for me to know this, you kind of would have like almost, you know, sometimes when you open up applications, they give you like hints or like, did you know, or top tip.
Yeah.
I hoped, I suppose, for me to know that that's where I'd have expected to see it. Helpful at all?
No.
Like he's just there.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of nice. That I like that little that I'm a King user.
Yeah.
Like you're tracking how much I cycle. That'd be nice if I could click into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're doing it for my friend. Would you like to add a friend to your subscription? Oh, the language there seems like I already have a year-long subscription.
Yeah.
And I don't want to add her for the whole year.
So yeah, that's it, and here's a biscuit. Thank you.
Thanks.
Before we look at the app, I'd like to ask you a few questions. What's your occupation?
Analyst.
Analyst.
With Deloitte.
And how much experience do you have using the web?
Yeah, quite a lot.
Yeah,
Native user.
Native user.
Yeah.
And what kinds of applications would you use a lot?
E-commerce sites, so a lot of online shopping. Not that much social media.
No.
Except for Instagram.
Yeah.
And news websites.
Yeah. Cool. And do you cycle?
No.
I will soon.
Have you used Dublin Bikes before?
No.
Okay, great. We're done with questions and we can start doing some things. First, I'm going to ask you to look at this app and tell me what you think about it, what strikes you about it, and what you think you can do with this app and what it's for. Just look around and do a little narrative. Please don't tap anything yet. So it's this thing here.
Okay. It looks like I can enter my destination to maybe pull up a map of where I want to go.
Yeah.
It's showing me my location. The little black dots might indicate that that's where the Dublin Bikes are.
Yeah.
Little guy in the corner might be my favourite places or my most visited places.
Yeah.
What else? Where are you going? You can lock the screen there on the side so you don't move it while you're cycling.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Okay. It's fine. So thanks. Now I'm going to ask you to try something, some more specific tasks. And again, as much as possible, it will help if you can try to think out loud as you go along.
Good, yeah. Like the tips at the start.
Yeah.
Nice reminder.
You like the kind of safety aspect of it?
Yeah, as a pedestrian, I always nearly get run over by bikes. So in my head, I'm always like, follow the rules of the road. Like, you're a car, you're not.
Okay.
So yeah, it's
good. So do you have any comments on that?
The second last bit there, I didn't understand.
The bit where the timer?
Yeah. I would hope that there'd be some functionality within the app that I could text them from it, a WhatsApp or something, to send them a link and say sign up.
Okay.
And yeah, that's probably what I would do. And if I couldn't do that,
would you be able to try and do it in the app?
I try up here. Here. Your card will be shared. Okay, cool. Okay, so they don't have to sign up.
No, but it'll put another person on your card. So if
nice.
the two of you go over 30 minutes, you like that?
Yeah, that's great, yeah. Because they might not want to sign up, they might not ever sign up. They might be just visiting Dublin for a day, something like that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So thanks, that was really helpful. Do you have any additional thoughts on the tasks which you just did?
No, I think it's good, yeah. I'm not that familiar with Dublin Bikes, so
yeah.
But yeah, we'll download.
Cool. So the first big change we're going to make on this prototype is we're going to change the subscription journey. So we're going to bring it in later into the application. So we're going to let people play a little bit more with the actual the map and stuff before we go ahead and kind of make people give us their card details. This will just help people be able to use some functionality without having to go straight into giving up their card details. Because at the moment, the way we have it designed, you have to pretty much go through the whole process before we let you do anything. The next change we are going to make is actually going to be to the home screen. So this screen here, people did not understand this little guy, the profile icon. Didn't know what he was. Some people thought he was a chatbot. Some people thought he was Simple Hints. So we're just going to change this back to be a more traditional burger icon. Also, this unlock, people didn't have a clue what it was. So I think to make it a bit more obvious, we're going to change it into a QR code on icon. Also, in relation to the actual journey planner, people just didn't like the fact that we were going to be tracking their journeys. So when you do click this button in it and it tracks your journeys almost like it would in Google Maps, that people just didn't like it and felt like we were following them. So we're going to get rid of that, take out that altogether. And there are the three main issues we are going to change. There's a few more, but they're probably the three biggest ones. Thanks for looking at the video.